What up? What up? What up? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to Thursday's night of questionable sports. How are we doing today? My name is Jesse. I will be with you until I'm done talking. I hope y'all having a great Thursday, because I sure am. The Dallas Stars are already playing. We'll talk about that later, but they already scored. So how about them Stars? All right, I hope y'all having a great day. Let's start off the day. You know how we do this. What's going on, Mom? How are you doing? Thank you for joining the show. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Thirsty Thursday, drinking some red wine. I don't know what y'all drink, what your kids are drinking nowadays. I'm not drinking nothing today or tomorrow or this weekend. Nothing this weekend. Drinking some water. Got some water right here. All right. Let's go. Do you know how we do this? Let's see where we come. You're drinking water as well. All right. That's good to hear. You know how we let's start off. Oh, pressing the wrong button. Here we go. All right. What we got today? Thank you for question again. Welcome to Questionable Sports. These are all the social media accounts I have: Twitter, RX at Questionable Sports, YouTube. If you're already here, it's already Questionable Sports. Don't forget, it's your first time. Hit that like, hit that, turn on your notifications, let them know. Hit that subscribe button. Tells you when I'm going to be on, when I'm go live. TikTok, Questionable Sports, and Twitch. I changed my name back to my original name, which is Narga0623. So, if y'all want to follow me on Twitch, I play video games all the time. Play different kinds, sports, shooting. No, I'm not supposed to say that. Sorry. Pshoom, pshoom. Games and role-playing games. So I play all kinds of games, though. So feel free to join me anytime you like. Today's topics, again, welcome back. We got sports news, what's going on. It's been a while since I've been on, so we're going to just talk a little bit about some sports. What to watch, top 25, put a shot on it, question of the day, and of course, important dates. And this is my show, so I'll have the last word. So Scotty will be joining us shortly. I'm not sure exactly what time, but he said he will be joining. So let's start off with sports news. You know, there's a lot going on in the sports world. There's been a lot been going on, but let's start off with I guess let's start off with the bad news. You know, with the passing of Nealon about a week ago, about 8 days ago. I know I haven't been on, and I was going to talk about that when it first happened, because it was a live thing of one of the shows we were going to do. Um, but you know, it sucks. You know, I know everybody's heard what happened. You know, he got in a police chase, and I don't know the whole details why he ran, what he had on him. Maybe he's been drinking, he was scared or whatnot. But you know, it sucks. You know, you hate to hear somebody passing away, especially killing themselves. You know, you don't want nobody to do that. Um, that's just sad. But you just don't know what's going on in people's heads, and I always say that you don't know what's going on in people's lives. People's like, you don't know their financial situation. You don't know what's going on in their love life. You don't know what's going on. So I know I bullshit with a lot of people. I talk a lot of shit all the time, but at the end of the day, I tell people, you know, I don't mean anything by it. It's just us having fun. If I ever say anything or do anything that crosses the line, you know, feel free to let me know. Um, but you know, with him again, from the reports I've read, it was just they were pulling him over, and he took off running, and yeah, he got into a wreck, hit a truck, ran on foot, and when they found him, he was what's up, D Wheat? How you doing? I hope you're doing all right today, sir. Welcome to the show. We were just talking about Nealon's passing. Um, it's and you know they just found him with a gunshot wound. So that's all I really read. I know he sent text messages out to his friends, not his friends, his agent, his mom, his dad, his girlfriend, and some of the people in the organization. What's on? What's going on? What's going on, Vernon? Thank you for joining. You're drinking a Dr. Pepper. I hope you're having a great day today, sir. Dr. Pepper is good, but I'd rather have Coke. I'm a Coke guy, not a Dr. Pepper. So yeah, it is very sad. I totally agree with you, man. It's a bummer, man. And the crazy thing about it, that Sunday he just had a touchdown. Recover that block punt. I don't know. I know one of the things he said in one of the text messages, he's not going to jail. He's not going to prison. But like, if he was under the influence, man, how many times have we seen athletes are under the influence get pulled over and get off with a slap on the wrist, maybe a suspension or something like that? I know he was dealing with stuff back in college, and that was kind of the knock on him when he was coming out of the draft. It just sucks, And listening to that day when I found out, because I got a notification about 9 o'clock in the morning from, I think it was Yahoo Sports, saying that he had passed. And oh, no way, what the fuck? So I turned on the sports radio, and I was listening to sports radio all day. And they were just talking about how, mental health and, if you need somebody to talk to, talk to somebody. And, especially we come with us men, and I'm not sure how women are, but I know with us, we try to hold everything inside. We try to pretend like nothing's ever wrong. I know, like I'm guilty of it myself. And there's times I hold stuff in, and then eventually I'll end up talking to my wife about it, or, I don't even say nothing at all. And he could have drugs in the car too, but that's the thing. They haven't said anything about why he ran. All they just talking about is that his passing or whatever. So, but again, yeah, I don't know, man. It sucks. With these athletes with money, they can get off a lot of the time with a slap on the wrist, a donation, a charity donation, community service. Because they have that they're up there. They got the money. They have them. People know who they are. So, but yeah, it sucks, man. I don't want to sit here and keep talking about it because I know everybody's heard a lot about it already. The Cowboys done a lot. The NFL's done a lot. Before every game, they had a moment of silence for him and everything. So, all I can say is if you do have mental instability, try to talk to somebody. There's always people out there that's willing to listen. That's all I can say. I don't know anything. I'm not going to sit here and try to be a therapist or anything like that because I ain't nowhere close to being that guy. My solution is to drink. And then I don't drink that much, so I don't have that many problems. But switching topics, going on to the next topic, we'll talk about what the big news happening on Tuesday, the firing of Nico Harrison. How about that? That's, I always say this, I hate for somebody to get fired, so I hate for somebody to get fired, but at the same time, like this dude, like we had a freaking, we were just in the championship a couple of years ago. We were just in the Western Conference Finals a couple of years ago. I know there was back to back, but we were just there. You have a superstar in Luka, and I mean, all you heard about was Luka Magic. That's all we ever talked about was that. And how did you see that game? Did you see that shot that Luka put up at the end of the game? Or did you see that play? And you took that away from everybody in Dallas. And Luka, you could tell that it hurt him when he got traded 8 months ago, because he looked bummed. Jason Kidd looked shocked. Nico's the only one who didn't. And his motto, was defense wins championships. And maybe he's a defensive guy. Don't get me, because I'm a defensive guy. I sit there and tell you all day, every day, like, I love defense. I will watch football all day and watch a defensive game. And I think it's good. I'm like, oh, that's a badass defensive game. And some people were like, oh, this game is so boring. Nobody's scoring. I'm the total opposite. And maybe he was the same way too. Maybe he was like, in basketball, he felt like, hey, basketball, we need some defense. And how many times have we bitched about, oh, we can't stop nobody, and like we're doing about the Cowboys now. But how many times have we talked about Mavericks not being able to stop anybody, but they put up points. The games were fun. They're going back and forth all day. And I guess he got tired of hearing people say about defense, so he's trying to build a defense on for a championship. And one thing you don't do is me personally, I would never, even if I'm playing Madden or any other game, I would never trade the superstar. I mean, I may trade somebody who maybe just under him, who's making all the money, is taking too much money. But I'm not trading a superstar because that's what people are going to go see. That's who everybody, all Dallas fans were going to go see was Luka. And don't get me wrong, AD's a good player, can't stay healthy. PJ Washington, he's been playing good. They got lucky with getting the first overall pick and getting Cooper Flagg, but he's not Luka, and I don't think he will ever be Luka. He'll be a good player, a really solid superstar for here in Dallas, but I don't see him ever being the superstar that Luka would have been like Dirk. There's never gonna be another Dirk, or it's gonna be very rare if we get another Dirk. But that's the thing, when you have something like that, you know how hard it is to draft a player like that. I mean, look at all these other organizations who get the first overall pick and they go draft somebody and they don't turn out to be what they are, or they're just not that superstar. Dallas had that, and he took that away. So there's people saying, "Oh, Star scored again." Yes sir, go Stars. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's crazy. People were saying, I had to sit there and think about what I was talking about. People were saying it was 8 months too long. I said it was 9 months too long, because if it was 9 months, that trade would have never happened. And I knew who Nico Harrison was, but I didn't think much of him. I just knew he was the GM of the Mavs and thought nothing of him. But after that trade, I think everybody in the U.S. knew who Nico was. So he's a hated man, especially in Dallas. The best thing for him to do is to get away for a little bit. I'm not sure who's going to pick him up, because I don't think any team's going to pick him up as a GM, because you wreck a team like that, it's going to be harder to explain yourself in the next interview. So he's going to have to work his way back up. The good thing is he's got that upper management experience, so he'll get a job somewhere. Just not sure where. But yeah, what is y'all's thoughts on the Nico firing? Y'all let me know in the chat. We'll talk about it some more if y'all have a good But the next thing, there was another firing that happened on Monday, the day before, and that was the Giants firing Brian Dabo. Scott was here. He'll tell you. Scott should be joining. I think I said that. Again, I said this before. I hate for players and coaches to get fired and stuff like that. But I think this one was coming. It was coming because the Giants there was like 3 games where they were up and they blew the lead in the fourth quarter. They were winning. They were beating. What team was that, babe? They were beating. You remember? Not last week, but 2 weeks ago. I can't remember who it was. And they were blowing them out, and they ended up losing. And everybody was just like, "What the fuck just happened?" And I know all the Giants fans were pissed off, and even the players were mad. I talked to Scott. Y'all know how Scott is. He's kind of quiet. He was mad. He was raising his voice up a little bit. I had to calm him down. Oh, God, Scott, calm down. But yeah, they fired him. There's a lot of Giants fans, though, that were also saying that they don't think he should have been fired by himself. The GM needed to be fired. Offensive coordinator needed to be fired. There was a lot of stuff going on. I always tell every year before when they do the draft, me and Scott always talk. We talk draft and all this stuff. And maybe if y'all watch the draft show, me and Scott were talking. I said, if the Giants would get a line, the offensive line, they can be good. And their offensive line was playing good for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and they kind of fell apart now. They're not the same team. They're just, Dart can't stay healthy. That's not good when your rookie quarterback is not staying healthy. Everyone should be fired. I mean, everybody in the Giants organization. But you know what? I'm not going to say that, because if that GM put that team together, that's okay in my books, because that means the Cowboys are going to play them twice a year, and that's going to be 2 wins every year. So that's okay with me. They can keep that GM all they want. I was hoping they keep the coach. I told that to Scott. I was like, they kept him sign him for a 10-year contract. I don't care. You know, if they're going to play like that every year, year in, year out, hey, all day, pay that man, so the Cowboys can beat them. That's going to be the Cowboys' only win. It seems like. In other Giants news, excuse me, I have to drink some water. In other Giants news, Giants are going to start Winston at quarterback this week. So I think they picked him. The new interim coach has picked him over Wilson. Wilson, man, I think he needs to hang it up. I hate to say that, Russell Wilson. I mean, we've all watched him when he was in Seattle, and then we saw his downfall. I think there's a time you just got to call it quits. And if he can't see that, man, he's got somebody in his corner needs to wake him up or stop being a yes man and tell him, hey, man, you don't got it no more. Other news, too. So there's a lot of talks of, who's going to be the next Giants head coach. Belichick was approached by that. Belichick kind of nipped that in the butt I ain't going to say real quick, but all he said was, I'm focused on Wake Forest this week. That's what I'm worrying about. Scotty is in. Scotty's not here yet. No, Scott's not here yet. I'll ask him about what he thinks about Belichick and coming to our talks of Belichick maybe coming to the Giants. We'll see. I doubt it. I'm not going to sit there and say that because maybe Belichick wants out of college football. Maybe. I know he signed a multi-year deal, so I don't know why you would sign a multi-year deal and just go 1 year and then jump ship. That'd be fucking stupid. Excuse my mouth. But that'd be dumb. Okay, thank you. So yeah, I don't see him really going to the Giants, but anything's happening. Did we all see Belichick going to North Carolina last year at the end of the year? Nobody thought it when that was announced. Everybody was like, "What just happened? Belichick college?" I don't think so. I mean, I'm not going to sit there because people are like, "Oh, what's going on?" North Carolina is not great. They're not going to be great. It's 1 year. They weren't great the year before. Why do you think they fired their coach? So it takes time in college. You cannot expect a coach to go 1 year and already have what he wants. He's got to get his people in. And NFL, when NFL gets there, it's not the same. You can't just sit there and think 1 year, all right, this coach is going to make a difference in 1 year. Brian Schottenheimer, Cowboys coach, his first year, his only downfall right now is his defense is letting him down. The defense is letting him down. The defensive coordinator, I don't know if it's a defensive coordinator thing, or if it's just the players that we have. And it could be both, But we got a couple of players on defense that we just traded for. Overshown should be coming back. I'm not going to say pretty soon. It could be another 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not sure what his timeline is for Overshown. But it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. It takes hard work and dedication and some time and patience. I agree. It does take 10 years to have overnight success. And when that overnight success comes, the people that were sitting there bad mouthing him are going to be the same people that are going to be right in his face talking about how great he is. So don't sit there and be like, oh, that looks nice. You like it? Don't swing it side to side because the dress is gonna fall off. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so Stars scored again. Whoop whoop. The Stars are on fire. All right, I want to get that going on all night. And they're playing a good team. They're playing the Canadians, and I have them on what to watch today. They both have the same record, so that's good. The Stars are up 3-0. The one thing the Stars' downfall though is they're closing out games because sometimes when they're up, they be up 3-0, and then you'll turn around and look, and they'll be tied 3-3 in a third period. You're like, what the fuck just happened? Come on, Stars. So, but yeah, Belichick, give him time if he stays in college football. You got to give him time. It's going to take for a turnover in college. It takes 3 years at least, because it's the recruitment, it's the recruiting. And now with the transfer, I mean, with some schools, I mean, look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech wasn't much last year. They went and got some players, but North Carolina don't have that kind of money to pay what Texas Tech is paying. Texas Tech paid $27 million this year to buy their defense, basically. And North Carolina doesn't have that kind of money. So he's got to sit there and try to go out there and recruit, try to get that transfer portal, get people to come here by not just saying, hey, we got this kind of money, but hey, I could get you into the NFL. I got people in the NFL I know that I could talk to get you into the NFL. That's one of Belichick's biggest, I think one of his biggest arguments he's going to have when he comes to recruiting some of these kids. It's like, hey, I can get you in the NFL. If you're good enough, I got ways to get into the NFL. Just trust my process. Stay with me. I can get you there. That's his talk. But other news with the Jets place receiver Wilson on IR with a knee injury. So if you go on IR, injury reserve, you're out for 4 weeks. So he's out for at least 4 weeks. Maybe if the Giants make a little run, they're playing right now against the Patriots. I kind of want the Jets to win. Nothing against the Patriots. I don't hate the Patriots or anything like that. I just kind of like. I like the coach. I like Glenn for the Jets. So I'm kind of rooting for him a little bit. He came out of. He was a corner for Packers for so many years, and then he was coaching in Detroit last year and the year before. So kind of rooting for the guy. Hopefully he does good, but we'll see. But moving right along, it is time for what to watch. I hope y'all got nothing to do, so you can have something to watch. So, what was it at? I left it over there. Oh, funny. That's so funny. This one, boom. All right, what to watch? NBA, the 65 Raptors are facing the 8-4 Cavaliers. Cavaliers, remember, is what if y'all were with us a couple of weeks. Scott said Cavaliers were going to be the Eastern Conference champions. So Cavaliers are playing at 6 o'clock, which are playing right now on NBA TV. Mavericks do not play until tomorrow. They're playing the 3-8 Clippers versus the 3-9 Mavs Friday at 11:14, which is tomorrow at 7:30. Most likely it's going to be on regular TV. I think it's channel 29 for every people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm not sure what it is anywhere else. So yeah, they'll be on regular TV at 7:30 tomorrow. So I can sit back, watch some Mavericks beat the Clippers. Got some hockey. Orders versus Blue Jackets. I'm sorry, Blue Jays is baseball at 6:30 p.m. They're already playing right now on Hulu. If you're into those two teams, Stars play tonight. They're actually playing right now as we spoke. It started at 6 on the Victory Plus app. They're winning 3-0 already. NFL. Whoop whoop. The Cowboys play the Raiders Monday night, 7:15 on ABC to 3-5-1. That's crazy to see that one behind the Cowboys. Can the Cowboys win this game? Hell yeah, they can win this game. Raiders are not a great team. It's going to be fun to see Jincy play against the Cowboys, especially with the Cowboys not being able to stop the run. I believe the people they traded for are playing. Logan and Quentin Williams are both should be playing this week. So they had a bye week to end this week to get prepared for the game. So they got plenty of time. So they should be ready to play this week. So that's gonna be fun to watch too, to see how they can help, if they can help the defense. So the 2-7 Jets playing the 8-2 Patriots right now on Prime TV if you have Prime. So that game's 0-0 as we speak, and Jets are driving. A 2nd and 6 at the 17-yard line. So they're in field goal range. You got to keep that field goal in your back pocket. Always remember that. You actually got some good games this weekend. You got the 7-3 Chargers versus the 5-4 Jags. The Jags don't have Hunter. Hunter's out for the season. His knee, he had knee surgery, so he's out for the rest of the season. I'm telling you, and I said this before, he's going to have to pick a side. He's not going to be able to go both sides. It's just too much on your body. It's not college. It's not high school. It's definitely not Pee Wee football where you can sit there and go both ways. And NFL, it's a whole different level. You're getting hit, picked up, thrown by big ass men. Not no, somebody who might be smaller, slower than you. So, but yeah, that should be a good game. Chargers are playing pretty well right now. You got the 6-3 Bucks versus the 6-3 Bills. What happened to the Bills last week? I know we weren't here Tuesday to talk about this, but you lose to Miami? That's crazy. It wasn't even close. It was at Buffalo too. Now let me say this though. Let's say the Cowboys, because Buffalo is projected to be like in the playoffs, and when Cowboys, I'll take this back. Cowboys have done this before, where they'll sit there and projected to be in the playoffs, be a Super Bowl contender, and lose to a team that has no relevancy. Their coach is about to get fired. Their offense looks dead. Their defense looks dead, and then they go and get blown out, or they blow out a team that's supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. Now, how crazy is that? To me, that's just crazy to sit there and see that. And when I saw the score, I'm like, what's going on? Another surprising team to me, I'm not sure if it is to y'all, but to me, it's the 7-2 Seahawks. They're a surprising team. They're playing the 7-2 Rams. I'm not going to say the Rams are a surprising team. I know they already had a good team. But the Seahawks are the ones that were kind of that's surprising to me with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. They're just a solid. They're what you call a team. They don't have a superstar. You can sit there and be like, oh, that's a superstar, because DK Metcalf is gone. He went to Pittsburgh. The running back, they got two good running backs. I got one on my fantasy team, but he's doing all right. He's putting solid numbers up. He ain't putting up like big numbers, but solid numbers. They don't got no big time receiver. They don't have a big time name defense, but their defense is good. So that's Seattle is all around team. So you got to respect that. Then you got the 5-4 Chiefs versus the 8-2 Broncos at the Broncos at 3:25 on CBS. So on CBS, you can sit there if depending on what games they're going to have, you can have the 6-3 Bucks going against the Bills at 12, and then turn around and watch the Chiefs and Broncos at 3:25. So you could have the 7-2. Man, you're going to have some games this week on Sunday. So all you NFL fans out there, there's something to watch. If you ain't got nothing to watch, you got something to watch now. And then to top it all off, you have the 6-3 Lions versus the 7-2 Eagles on NBC at 7:20 Sunday night. Man, that's gonna be a good game. Now I'm telling you this. I know some people are like, "Oh, Eagles haven't been that good." They're in 7-2 for a reason, and I think they're starting to get started. They're starting to get jump started. They made some trades too, but they're starting to get jump started, and that's what's going to start get scary because their offense hasn't been clicking yet. But if it starts clicking, and it's gonna get scary. Their defense has been wasn't good at the beginning, but now it's starting to look good. So yeah, the Eagles might be the team to look at for the rest of this year, going into the playoffs, and could they get to the Super Bowl again? So I don't know. Don't sleep on them. Now we're gonna switch to same thing, what to watch, but the college edition. Whoop whoop! You know how much I love college, and we could sit here and talk college all day if y'all wanted to, but we don't because there's other things to talk about, and plus I can't be on here all day. I can't be here on there all night. I gotta go to bed. But tonight, right now as we speak, the 6-3 Troy versus the 6-3 Old Dominion, 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. I don't know. You're thinking, why'd you put the records up there? You didn't put the records for the rest of them. Well, the reason is because this game is actually kind of a big deal. Not in college football rankings or anything like that, but this is one of them games that could be a really good game. Right now, it's 10-0 in the second quarter, but it could mean something down the road. Could these teams be one of the G5 schools? Probably not. But these are schools that never had any relevancy. But since I don't know if it's a transfer portal that's helping these teams out, or the fact that teams can get paid. I'm not sure what it is, but these teams they were really nothing. You're always consider them having bad records year in year out. they're actually starting to become up. They're starting to get better teams, better players, or maybe there's just better players out there, better coaches out there. I don't know, but a lot of these teams who didn't have any had nothing. They were just Troy. You will see them. They'll probably have 3 wins. Old Dominion, where'd they come from? They're brand new into the college football world. Well, Division 1. They were a Division 2 school, but they're in Division 1 now. So, back, I'm gonna say maybe 5-6 years ago, there was like 99. I say about 99 college football teams in Division 1. Now there's 139 college football teams. 139 college football teams. That is crazy. That's crazy. There's more college football teams. You got Division 2 and Division 3, but this is Division 1. It's the top of the top, and you can't just beat any college and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Division 1. There's certain curriculums you got to hit. Clemson versus Louisville Friday. This is another good one for Friday night. You ain't got nothing to do tomorrow night. 6:30 ESPN. This is gonna be a good one. Louisville, Clemson. Clemson is starting to find a way a little bit. They're trying to find a way a little bit, but I just don't see them being Louisville. Louisville's a really good team. Now this one right here, I think Oregon needs to watch out. This could be a trap game. Minnesota versus Oregon. Number 8 Oregon, Friday night, Fox. So 8 o'clock at night, Fox, Channel 4 for most of you guys. You can watch Oregon. This could be a trap game for Oregon. Minnesota's a good team. I said this last time. Minnesota's a good team, and they got their ass kicked by Ohio State. But I still ain't going to sleep on Minnesota. Now, one of the games of the week is Notre Dame, number 9 Notre Dame versus number 22 Pitt. Now, I told y'all before, Notre Dame is my second favorite school. So I'm always going to root for them all the time. But Pitt, they're playing at Pitt. College game day is going to be at Pitt. So that crowd is going to be bouncing. And it's at 11 o'clock in the morning. So they ain't got to sit there and worry about being up all day trying to stay hype. They're going to be ready to go, that crowd. So Notre Dame needs to be ready to go right off the bat, not sit there and I hate to say it, like pussyfoot around, playing grab bags. Because if they sitting there doing that, Pitt's going to jump all over them. Notre Dame likes to sit there and play games and keep games close and then decide to win at the end. I don't think Pitt's going to let them do that. They're going to sit there and play around. So Notre Dame needs to come out, do their job, win the game, and move on. Next game, South Florida versus Navy. This is a big game. This is the reason I got this on here. South Florida is the highest ranked G5 school. So right now, as we speak, and we'll see here in just a little bit when I show you the bracket, they're in the playoffs right now. But if they're both 7-2, so don't sleep on Navy. Navy did lose to North Texas. So, and you see right here too, North Texas is playing UNAB. Neither one of them is ranked, but if North Texas wins, I think they can get back in the top ranking because they only have one loss, and their only loss was to South Florida. So, but if Navy could beat South Florida, then I feel like North Texas is going to be the team to jump into the top 25 and get that last G5 school spot. And how many times have you ever said, I'm not sure how many of y'all have been college football fans, but how many of y'all sit there and think, oh, North Texas, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Stars scored again. But, and they scored again. It's 5-0 Stars. Woo, woo. They're putting on a clinic right now. Like I said, this team is supposed to be good. Canadians are supposed to be a good team. Where my Canadian fans at? Where y'all at? Star score. I see you, Mom. I see you. You beat me to the punch. So where I leave off at? So yeah, that's a big game. 11 o'clock on ESPN2, South Florida versus Navy. So I'm definitely going to be watching that game because I am rooting for North Texas. I would love to see North Texas get to the college football playoffs because, like I said, how many times have you sit there and think of North Texas and talking about college football, or talking about having a winning record? They have one loss right now, and their only loss was against the South Florida team, a really good South Florida team. So I'm not knocking South Florida by any means. Again, another game at 11 o'clock. Arizona versus 25 Cincy. This is Big 12. This is Big 12 still up for grabs. There's not nobody's running away with it. You have BYU, Texas Tech that played last week. Texas Tech dominated that game. And that could be the Texas Tech BYU could be a preview of the Big 12 championship game. But we can't forget about Utah, who Baylor plays here at 6 o'clock on Saturday on ESPN. So we can't forget about Utah. You can't forget about Iowa State. I think Iowa State might be done. Arizona State. So there's still a lot of games to be played, but not a lot of games because the season's coming to the end because we're at that threshold where we get to Thanksgiving when the season's almost over. So I hate to say that. Sad face. Yep. So there ain't gonna be no more popping the top of the beers. But moving right along, I already talked about North Texas and UNAB. They play at 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus. I know I'm sitting here saying, if you don't have ESPN Plus, go get it. It's pretty cool. You have all these different kind of games you can watch and stuff like that. But I know it costs money as well. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I have ESPN Plus. So, and it actually comes with my subscription. So I can't sit there and say I pay for it. Next game is Oklahoma versus number 11 Oklahoma versus number 4 Alabama at 2:30 on ABC. Big game for the SEC. If Alabama wins, let's say this: if Oklahoma loses, they're pretty much done. They're not going to make the playoffs. It's going to be tough for them, even if they win out. If Alabama wins, almost damn near puts them right there in the SEC championship game. Because they're going to only have 2 games left. I think they have one against they have Auburn, their big rivalry, and they got one more, I believe. So, and Auburn hasn't not been that good, and they just fired their coach. So, Alabama should win that game. But again, when it comes to rivalry games, you just never know. But Oklahoma, Alabama, I got to put a shot on it, so I'm not going to let you know who I voted for on this one. Next game is number 21 Iowa versus 17 USC on the Big Ten Network. Now, this game right here, I mean, it's hard. A lot of stations don't even have the Big Ten Network. So this game right here, you got 2 ranked schools, and you're not even showing them on CBS, ABC, Fox, NBC, ESPN. You're not showing them on none of these big networks. This is one that you have to figure out a way to get this on a big network because, for one, you're isolating it just to the people who have the Big Ten Network, and you got 2 schools who are ranked. I'm like, oh man, you how do you not have this game showing on the TV on any network? Shit, put it on the CW. I don't give a shit. Put it on something. But yeah, put it on something. I don't give a shit. But this game has to be on Rick TV where people can see. I think it's going to be a really good game, real fun game to watch. So if you have the Big Ten Network, good shit, good job. But it's at 2:30. Now we switch over to Utah, number 13 Utah versus my Sick'em Bears, Baylor Bears. Let's go Sick'em Bears. They're playing Saturday at 6 o'clock on ESPN. Moving right along, we got UCLA versus number 1 Ohio State, Saturday at 6:30 on NBC. And the only reason I put this game on, Ohio State's going to blow UCLA out, is because they're number 1 Ohio State. You got to give respect where respect's due, and Ohio State is number 1, so you got to respect that. The big game, the real big game that I know a lot of people are going to be watching is the Texas versus Georgia game, 6:30 ABC Saturday. I'm going to put a shot on this one. I'll let y'all know who I think is going to win. And matter of fact, who I know is going to win this one. So, but I'll let you know when I put a shot segment. But I think did Scott just join?
What's up?
What's going on, Scotty? How you doing today, sir?
Not much. I'm doing pretty good.
That's good to hear. Scotty's here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, I'm talking about what to watch in college football. And right now, I'm on Texas versus Georgia Saturday at 6:30 on ABC. I got to put a shot on it, so I'm not going to say who is going to win. I already know who's going to win. I know who is going to win. So, but I'll let y'all know when I put a shot segment. But the only way Texas is going to win is I feel like if they use Archie's legs. and defense has got to come alive. You know, they got to play a lot better than they played the last couple of weeks. But the Texas defense is good, so I think they can. Now Georgia's defense is really good. Their offense has struggled a lot, but Georgia's defense is really good. So that's going to be a good, fun game. What do you think, Scotty?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be difficult for Texas to.
They're playing at Georgia too.
Yeah, gonna be at Georgia.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough.
Georgia always finds a way to win.
They always find a way to win. That's just what's crazy. I got a question for you, Scott. There's a couple of things I was talking about in sports news. The first one was the firing of Brian Dable.
Yeah.
Get your take on that.
It's about time. I think the reason why they did it now instead of waiting for the end of the season is because Dable kept putting Dart in situations where this is his fourth concussion protocol. 3 of them he's passed. This one he didn't. And so I think that's why I think that's why they didn't wait till the end of the season.
Yeah.
They kept putting Dart in harm's way. Why they didn't fire the GM, I don't know.
Well, see, I was saying that like some Giants fan were saying that the GM and the offensive coordinator both need to go.
A lot of coaches don't even want to work with them.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Mike McCarthy was one of the top prospects. And he came out and said, "No, I don't. There's no way I'm going to the Giants because working with Joe Shane is just like working with Jerry." he says, "I'm not going there." So I don't know.
Well, see, that's not going to my next question. What do you think of the people talking about Belichick going to the Giants?
Honestly, I haven't really heard that name recently. Jesse Minter is one that I've heard. Antonio Pierce is, of course, in there, but I don't want him. I mean, I would love him as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
that would be great, but I do not want him as a head coach. Same with what's his face? Kansas City.
The defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Scott, my mom said hi.
Hello. Yeah, he was the Giants defense coordinator one time too.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I was saying, this is what I was saying about the Belichick thing. Like, people expected North Carolina to be great now. You know, like Belichick's he's there, and I'm like, that's not how it happens. It's not like, all right, here's the greatest coach ever. We're gonna put him in college, and now the team's gonna be great. You have to sit there and build your team how you want it. So
yeah.
But yeah, I just don't feel that people who are impatient are giving Belichick enough time to sit there and build his team. They're just like, why are they not great now? They're supposed to be great now.
Yeah. The other name I heard, Lane Kiffin, really haven't heard. I don't think I think he's. I heard LSU was talking to him, and I'm pretty sure I know Florida is too.
Yeah. So yeah, Lane Kiffin's come up for almost every position, every job lately, even NFL with the Giants. But he still hasn't committed to Ole Miss either. He hasn't told them that I'm staying.
No, he hasn't. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if Ole Miss is going to offer him some more money, an extension, or anything like that. Or
yeah, another name I heard. There's actually a couple of Marcus Freeman was actually one of them.
You think he'll leave Notre Dame?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a good. I
mean,
he's a good coach.
My mind's shot tonight. I can't think of names. The Steelers coach. The Steelers coach.
Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin.
Nah, I don't see Mike Tomlin. I don't see
his
much.
name was thrown out there. I think his contract's up this year.
Oh well, if they don't resign him, then I can see that. But if he's still getting stay there, I don't see him leaving to Pittsburgh. That's one thing I gotta
Yeah,
give it to Pittsburgh. That whole organization, they stick with their coaches. You
yeah,
know, so they don't sit there and fire their coaches because he's been there and he's had they put some shitty teams together and he finds a way to win. So that
yeah,
he's a hell of a coach.
yeah.
How you gonna make the playoffs with Zach Randolph? Like, come on, that's his name, right? That's the quarter, right? That was his name, right? Zach is it Zach Randolph?
Randolph, was it Rudolph?
Yeah, Mason Rudolph.
Some, yeah, Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph.
how you
Yeah.
gonna win it? See, we don't even know his name. That's how bad he was. And he was good in college though, in Oklahoma State. But yeah,
Yeah,
NFL, he's just didn't pan out. But the last game of the night, we got TCU versus BYU. That's gonna be a good one. Number 12 BYU Saturday night
yeah.
on ESPN. So you got something to watch all day. Is there a game, Scott, you want to go back and talk to? But you can think about it real quick while I go over these games real quick. There's
All right.
you got all these games you can watch. You can just leave it on channel 8 if you want, because you're gonna start off with number 9 Notre Dame versus 22 Pitt, 11 o'clock. Then you're gonna turn around. You're gonna have Oklahoma versus Alabama at number 11 versus number 4 at 2:30. Then you're gonna turn around at 6:30. You have Texas versus Georgia. And then when all that's said and done, switch it over to ESPN at 9:15, and TCU and BYU are going to be beating each other up. So,
Yeah,
I mean, you have games all day. So if you ain't got nothing to do Saturday, you got something to do. So get you a fruit tray, get you a cheese tray, sit back, relax, pop you open a Dr. Pepper, Coke, whiskey, beer, whatever you want. Where's my Stone Cold Steve Austin? What? I need that. I'm gonna download that.
I know
Right now.
what.
What's up?
You know what I found? I didn't know. Stone Cold Steve Austin played football at North Texas.
Oh yeah. That was years ago though. I think he played what 2 years
Yeah,
maybe. I think he played two
I just
years.
found that out that not that long ago.
Yeah, he didn't play long. I don't think he stayed
Yeah,
all 4 years. That if I remember, I don't think he played all
uh,
4 years.
yeah,
Yeah, I do remember him because they were doing like they did a little thing on him one time. I was watching. I can't remember what network it was doing it. They were doing like wrestlers. They did different wrestlers, and they did Stone Cold. And yeah, he said when he played football for North Texas for a little bit. I was talking about North Texas and the South Florida Navy game. And I said if Navy could beat
yeah.
South Florida, I think North Texas jumps in the top 25. And if Texas, well, North Texas got
I
to beat
think so
UAB.
because yeah, if Navy beats South Florida for sure, because UNT beat Navy pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Now, is South Florida and North Texas during this? Do they have a conference championship game, or they just got the best record? Because could North Texas
I'm
and
not
South Florida
sure.
play each other again?
Because James Madison's in there too.
Oh, and James Madison, but they got 2 losses too. But South Florida isn't. We looked at this the other day, Scotty. I can't remember. Does James Madison play in South Florida?
Um,
Listen, we gonna look at this. We're gonna look this up, ladies and
no,
gentlemen. We
they
gonna
don't.
They don't.
They play Navy, UAB, and then Rice. So
Um, dang. So, but yeah. So, is there a game you wanted to talk about, Scotty?
well, I was gonna mention that one because I need South Florida to lose.
Yeah, I said this. I said this. I told him I was like, I'm watching that South Florida Navy game, unless it becomes a blowout, then I'm
Yeah,
not gonna watch it. But that game I'm watching because I'm going to be rooting for Navy because I want Navy to win. So North Texas. I think
yeah.
how many times in this and since I've watched college football, have we sat there and said, hey, North Texas has an opportunity to go to play for the national championship? You know, normally they're just playing to survive without losing by 50. You know, not that
Yeah,
bad, by like 25. You know, but yeah,
yeah, pretty crazy.
they have a little team there. And what the crazy thing, Scotty, tell me about their quarterback. Like I don't know how much you know about their quarterback, but
I know he's a walk
he's a
on.
walk on, and he was a backup in high school.
He was a punter too.
Yeah, like how crazy is that? Uh oh,
Yeah, I mean
TV
that says a
decision.
lot about the coach too.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator, the coach, to sit there and give
Yeah,
this kid who hasn't done really much. an opportunity. Maybe
Yeah.
he showed out and practice, and this is what happens when you practice. You know,
Yeah.
you up there and you show them, hey, I know this playbook. I can read it. So,
Yeah.
uh, but now, Scotty, let's move on to I got the next thing we're going to talk about is the top 25, but just the college bracket edition. So let's switch over to the college bracket edition. I hope you like this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I've made this just for y'all. Look at that. It looks nice. Actually, I just copied and pasted, but still, that made it look nicer than what I normally put together. I mean, I'm working on this stuff. It takes me a little bit to figure stuff out, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So give me a break. And I know you're wondering, hey, why am I only seeing your hands and your face? That's all I got. I got a green shirt on, so you can't see nothing. You
Yeah.
can't you can't see if I'm losing weight or I gotten fatter. So yeah, all you
One
see is
thing
just my head. Go ahead, Scotty.
I was gonna say, one thing I noticed about this latest rankings is they don't look like they're gonna favor head to head as much because you have Notre Dame and Miami. Miami beat Notre Dame, and
Yeah.
Notre Dame like 6 spots ahead of them. So
Well, in this one they have Miami at 11. I'm just looking at the bracket. I'm not looking at the top 25. So I'm actually just looking.
okay.
I'm just looking at the bracket. So that's why I said it's top 25, but I said we're gonna do the bracket edition.
All right.
So just the top 12, I guess I should said, huh? So top 12. We're gonna look at the top 12 with the brackets. So right now they have number 1 Ohio State, number 2 Indiana Hoosiers, which is a surprising teams to most folks because Indiana it's a basketball school, but they're building something there in Indiana. I like that school. I like that coach. Google him. That's what he would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Google.
Google him. So he's a good coach. You got 3 Texas A&M. They got a couple of good games coming up. They still got to play Texas. So
Yeah.
I mean, each week this is going to change because you got teams that are going to play difficult schools. You got Texas is playing Georgia.
Yeah.
They're both in the bracket right now. They're both there. So one of them's going to lose. One of them's going to get knocked out.
Yep.
Again, then you're going to have Texas. If they beat
You
Georgia,
you got Alabama and Oklahoma too.
yeah, they play. I know Oklahoma's not here, but they're the first one out. If
Yeah.
Alabama loses, are they out of the playoffs? You know, of course, if Oklahoma wins, they're got to jump in. But who's going to lose? Who's going to leave? Alabama, Texas, Georgia.
I don't think they'll knock Alabama out.
I don't think so either. I think the
I don't
loser of
know.
Texas and Georgia might get knocked out though.
Maybe.
Well, if Texas lose for sure, they're
Texas,
knocked out.
Texas for sure. Georgia might be all right.
But what's going to save them? You know what I mean? Well, maybe they'll switch spots. Maybe Georgia will go. Texas will go to 5. Or no, Texas won't go
Yeah.
to 5. They'll move up a couple of spots, but Georgia will drop to like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So I can see that.
I
I can
mean,
see that. Thanks,
yeah.
Mom.
Ole
Really
Miss
beautiful.
even has a.
They don't have a big schedule. I don't think they have a big game this week. They do got a game, but I don't think it's like something they should
Ole
worry about.
Miss plays Florida.
Oh, 7, you dropped the ball. I'm watching the college football game. The Troy versus Old Dominion. Old Dominion is winning, whooping that ass, 20-0. But Troy, number
Man.
7, had that ball right in his hand. He just dropped it. That'd have been a touchdown. But yeah, so each week I'm gonna do this each week. Have this pop up, and we can talk about
Yeah.
the brackets because each week's gonna change.
Yep.
Let's see. Right now they have 4 Alabama, Georgia. So this game right here, the Georgia. Let's talk real quick. I know it's about to be 8, so we need to talk about this real quick. Georgia South Florida game. I think if this was a game, I would say Georgia will win. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Next game. Let's go. Texas Ole Miss. Who would you think will win? I'm gonna go Texas, just because I have to. My wife likes Texas. That's who I would pick.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Texas will win
Okay.
that.
Miami, Texas Tech. I'm gonna go Tech because their defense. They proved they're damn good against BYU. I know Miami's
Yeah.
defense is good too, but I think Texas Tech's defense may be damn
Yeah.
good.
That and Carson Beck is kind of
Trash.
falling off again.
He went back to Georgia's quarterback again
He did that last year too. He kind of fell off at the.
at the end when people started figuring him out. And then this game,
Yeah.
and I think this would probably be the toughest game to pick. Notre Dame, Oregon. I think that game would be tough to pick But I will go Notre
Yeah,
Dame just
that would be.
because. Go ahead.
So yeah, that would be. Um, where would that be played? Is that
At Oregon, because the first round
at
always,
Oregon?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
that's a tough environment. But
Yeah,
I just think Notre Dame's defense and their running game is going will win that game. That's what I would
yeah,
think. Because Oregon hasn't played, and there's been a couple of games already where they offense has been sputtering. Where it wasn't a great game. I think it was last week
yeah.
their game wasn't great.
Yeah, against Iowa, yeah.
Yeah, so see, I think Notre Dame's defense is way better than Iowa's defense. So, um, but yeah, so and I think we should do this every week, Scott. Every week when we have the first round, we just go and say who we think will win each game, even though we know it's not the right bracket because it's not finalized until
Oh yeah.
later. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be fun just to just to figure that out. But moving right along, it is time for. I don't have a question of the day, so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I actually forgot to do question of the day. It's blank right now. Well, I was gonna do that next week for Thanksgiving since Thanksgiving being. Okay, okay, Scott, we'll do that. What's your favorite dessert, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all, let me know what your favorite dessert is out there. That's the question of the day. Again, I didn't think of one today. Totally forgot about it when I was getting everything put together. So, what's your favorite dessert? Y'all think about it. Y'all let me know. It could be. I guess as we're going to Thanksgiving, let's do what's your favorite dessert for Thanksgiving. So I know I did it last year around this time, so we'll do it again this year because we may have new people here who never done it, who wasn't here last year. So moving right along to important dates, NCAA selection day, December 7th. So that's when I was telling about the bracket. That's when the bracket is going to be set in stone. That we'll find out who's playing who. College football playoffs starts December 19th to the 20th. That's just the first round. So NFL date, Super Bowl is February 8th. So make sure you get February 9th off so you can sit there and watch the game and get drunk. Right, Scotty?
Yeah.
NBA dates, NBA All Star game is February 13th to the 15th. So that break. All right, it's time for the last word. Oh, not the last word. It's time for the question of the day. Let's go back. What you got, Scotty? What's your favorite dessert?
Uh, I kind of like pie.
Pie. He likes
Yeah.
pie. All kinds.
No.
You said what? You cut out there, Scotty. I don't know what happened to you. Dun dun dun. Well, I'll say something. I'll
Oh yeah.
what?
Okay. I said I'm not real big on sweets
Uh-huh.
too much, but I like pie.
I'm a my favorite Thanksgiving is pumpkin pie dessert, but I also like banana pudding. So I told my wife I saw this recipe. What was it called? Peach. What was it called? Babe, that peach. I think it was like a peach cobbler dessert thing that I saw on TV the other day. I was like, oh, I want to try. It looked good. I was like, I want to try it. I want to try to make that. And they said it's a simple recipe to make, and it looks pretty simple. And I mean, it sounds pretty. I was reading how to make it and what to do, so it didn't seem like it was too much, and it didn't have too many ingredients. But it was like a peach cobbler crunch. I can't remember how it was, but it said it served good with ice cream, vanilla ice cream. So I told my wife, let's make that. Let's try to make it. So that's what we're gonna
Yeah.
try. But yeah, pumpkin pie and banana pudding is probably my two favorite. What are you gonna say, Scotty?
No. Just really any kind of pie I like.
Any kind. My mom said pecan pie is her favorite. Pecan
Yeah,
pie.
that's one of the top ones.
Yeah, pecan pies are good. I like the filling. That filling is so delicious. And they make it
Yeah.
good too with the glaze with the pecans. Glaze is good. Sometimes that's good too. So,
Oh yeah.
but now it's time for the last word. Scotty, you got anything else before we sign off?
No. I was looking at the college basketball. It doesn't look like there's too much coming up this weekend.
Mm,
As far as ranked teams playing,
yeah.
be kind of a quiet weekend. We got UConn and BYU playing Saturday, but other than that, it's about it.
I wonder if you're like some of the like the students who are like who go to the games and stuff like that. Like if the BYU because I forgot about put a shot segment on there. Rewind, real quick, Scotty. We gotta do the put a shot segment on there.
Okay.
First game I got Baylor over Utah. I'm putting a shot on that one. I think Baylor. It's gonna be tough for Baylor to win. I'm not gonna sit there and lie, but I can't
Yeah.
go. I can't root against Baylor. So Utah's a really good team, but I'm just gonna take Baylor still. So, anything you guys say on that one, Scotty?
Yeah. Utah's defense is pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
Be a tough game.
Pitt Notre Dame. I'm gonna go. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. I'm gonna go Notre Dame over Pitt. I think Notre Dame's defense is really good. I think their running game is really good. But I said this too earlier, and if y'all remember at the beginning of the show, I said um, if Notre Dame goes in here, lallygags around, and don't come out ready to play, Pitt was jump all over them because
Yeah.
they're playing at Pitt, two, College game days there, and three, it's at 11 o'clock in the morning, so them kids are gonna be up and at them.
Yeah, Pitts. Yeah, they're like I said, beginning of the season. It could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, Scott said that. He did say that. I remember.
Yeah, they're my
Next,
dark horse. Too.
it was it was that another game, Oklahoma, Alabama. I'm going Alabama. I just don't think Mantier, did I say his name? Batier?
Batier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he's fully healthy yet.
No.
And I think they brought him and that's what happens when you come back too early. We said that Texas game and Oklahoma game, I think he came back too early. He wasn't ready. Now that hand is really starting to cause a problem with them.
Yeah.
It's not really healing. It's stuff like that. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his. I think he came back too early.
Yep. Now you got Texas at Georgia. This is the big one that's going to really, I think, put together the SEC a lot because if one team wins, if Georgia wins, they're kind of put themselves in the, hey, we're pretty much going to be in the SEC championship game. But if Texas wins, then they're sitting there going to mess everything up for the SEC. Not saying for the bad, but because like we were talking about in the bracket, where's Georgia going to fall to? Is Georgia going to get knocked out? Is Oklahoma going to move up? Or there's a lot of stuff that can happen if Georgia loses. So, but I'm gonna pick Texas over Georgia. I think Texas' defense is going to step up, and I hope they use Arch's legs a little bit, and he doesn't get a concussion for another thing, but he uses his legs a little bit and get out of the pocket, man. Stop just standing there in the pocket. Roll out a little bit. That's what I think. What about you, Scotty?
Yeah. Arch just probably is going to need to play the best game of his career so far.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you
his
saying
college career.
Yeah, when you saying that, that's I'm glad you brought that up real quick. There's certain times in college football players and teams and stuff like that where you have those moments, and this is that time. If Archie wants to sit there and be a legend and Texas, this is one of the games you're gonna have to show up to. Because you go into the game like this and you just lay an egg, and people are gonna remember that when the next year comes around and people are like, "Oh well, who's Heisman hopeful?" People are like, "What about Archie?" No, he's not a big time gamer. This is a game that you're gonna have to show you that you're a big time gamer. So,
Yep.
And the last game I got, I'm gonna pick the Cowboys over the Raiders. Let's go Cowboys. So, is there a game I missed, Scotty, that you want me to put a shot on?
Oh, I have one.
What's that?
Penn State at Michigan State.
Oh, you're going bad versus bad. You know what? I'm gonna go Penn State because I'm write that down. Because I like the way they played last week, and I think they still have that fire.
They held pretty good with Indiana.
Yeah, So I'm gonna go Penn State. I think they still have some fight in them.
Yeah.
So all right, now it's time for the last word. Now, do you got anything else to say before we get off, Scotty?
No, that's all I have.
All right, we have 55 of 100 subs as our goal. The next show will be Tuesday. We will be back on Tuesday. We will be talking about the weekend updates, what games we watched, any upsets that happen, or anything that's fascinating. Scott will have his players of the week.
Yes.
Talks. And also, we'll talk about the new top 25 and break down the bracket again. So, thank you for joining. I hope y'all join us on Tuesday. Don't forget to pass the word along. Scotty, I appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
So, y'all have a great evening. Thank y'all. Thank you, Scotty. You have a great evening.
All right. See ya.
See ya.